Whenever you ask well established or successful people in different industries how they got into it, what inspired them to chase after this passion or dream that they have, a lot of them can trace back to one defining moment that sparked with them and made them want to pursue whatever it is they wanted to do. And for me, it was when I discovered Back to the Future as a 10-year-old boy. And it was really after watching that movie that set the course for me to love and appreciate the art of film and just want to become a filmmaker as much as possible. But for us to talk about it, let's go back. The year is 2009. The world economy is in shambles after the '08 housing crisis. War is still active in Afghanistan and Iraq, and the swine flu is ravaging its way through the planet. But as a 10-year-old kid not understanding global politics, life is going pretty great. I remember it was a summer day in 2009 when my family decided to take a trip to Universal Studios. We've been to the park a bunch of different times before, but this time we noticed something different about the park while we were walking around. This giant futuristic looking train sitting next to this old looking car that I didn't pay no mind to. I remember looking at the train and being all ecstatic and in awe, but my dad was more focused on the old car. So I asked him if he knew what movies they were from, and he said Back to the Future. Now, at the time, I didn't know what Back to the Future was, and he was almost in shock when he heard that. So, literally, right when we came back home, we went to Blockbuster and we rented the entire trilogy and watched them all back to back to back. I remember watching those movies for the first time and being absolutely blown away by the level of storytelling, humor, heart, and creativity it had in it overall. And after that, I found out who Steven Spielberg was and started watching some of his movies. And then after that, it just became a domino effect of me discovering new movies and just getting myself into this whole world of cinema that exists out there. At the time, it was almost like another phase I was going through with Back to the Future and all these other '80s movies. But that phase never really went away, and it only grew into a passion that I am still as giddish and filled with excitement as I was when I was a kid first getting into it. I started a YouTube channel when I was in middle school called Nickel Films, and on it I would make these quick little sketches, quick little videos, and nothing really much came out of it. In fact, some of the videos are kind of embarrassing looking back at it. But I always liked them because they really were like the first foundations and fundamentals of me learning how to make movies and using iMovie for the first time and recording off my iPod Touch. And it really was just the start of just being able to create something from nothing and turn it into something cool and entertaining. And when it came to choosing which college or university I wanted to go to, I still had this immense passion for film, so I just decided to go full send and go to film school. And that's how I ended up at Valencia College in Orlando, Florida for my first real training and experience in film. While at Valencia, I was able to get my first real experience in being a director when we were asked to make a short trailer for the school's annual film festival, and everyone had to go in and pitch their ideas, and they chose my ideas. So I was in charge of being director. I had to write everything. I had to pick my crew, and I had a whole 2 weeks to film this. And within that time, it really gave me the sort of confidence to want to be a director. Because when you go to film school, you have so many different options of what roles you can do, whether you want to get into camera, sound, VFX, post production. But I always knew I kind of wanted to be a director, and giving and having that shot really gave me the sort of confidence that made me think, you know what, maybe I could actually do this. Maybe this is something that I could actually be really good at and something that I could succeed for and something I really enjoyed doing too. And that's what I wanted to do, right? It's to be a storyteller, is to show my visions of the world to everyone. And I think that's the beauty in filmmaking, really. And as I'm entering Full Sail, I'm hoping to expand upon my knowledge of film and use that to create a long and prosperous career in the film industry. And in case you didn't know, that's who I am, Nick Lima, a storyteller.